Okay, so you want your website to rank high in searches, right?
Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it?
It is for sure.
To be at the top of that first page.
Exactly. And it feels like every day there's a new SEO guru promising some kind of secret formula or magic trick.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've got the one weird trick that Google doesn't want you to know.
Exactly. And you know what I'm talking about, right? All those clickbait headlines.
Yeah, exactly. And they just leave you more confused than when you started.
Totally. So what we want to do today is cut through all that noise and really get down to the fundamentals of what truly matters when it comes to keyword research.
Yeah, let's ditch the gimmicks and get to the real stuff.
Exactly. And we're going to break down this whole keyword thing in a way that's actually helpful and insightful without making your head spin.
No jargon overload here.
Promise.
We want you to walk away with some real, actionable insights, some aha moments that you can actually put into practice.
So what we're really talking about today is keyword research for SEO.
The foundation of any good SEO strategy.
Absolutely the core, the heart of it all.
And to really get a solid understanding of this, we've been diving deep into some excellent material.
Specifically, the Benny Mathur Show Keyword Research 101 Tools and Tactics for Top Rankings.
Benny really knows his stuff.
He does, and he breaks down some really complex concepts in a way that's super clear and easy to understand.
Yeah, so our mission today is to distill all that wisdom and give you a solid grasp of keyword research.
Introduce you to some of the key tools you'll need.
And most importantly, outline some practical tactics you can start using right away to boost your website's visibility in those search results.
So first things first, let's talk about the fundamentals of keyword research.
The rock.
When we're on the hunt for these golden keywords, what are we really looking for?
Okay, so Benny emphasizes 4 core criteria. These are really the make or break factors.
Okay, lame on me.
All right, so first up, and this might sound super obvious, is relevance.
Okay, so the keywords have to actually be related to my business.
Exactly. It's about making sure your target keywords are a perfect match for what you're offering.
Whether it's a product, a service, or even just the information you're sharing.
Right, it sounds simple, but you'd be surprised how easy it is to get sidetracked.
Oh, I know. I can totally see myself getting caught up in some niche topic that I find fascinating, but that maybe isn't directly related to what my audience is actually looking for.
Yeah, exactly. You might be super passionate about something, but if it's not something your potential customers are searching for in connection with your business, well, it's not going to do you much good.
You're going to end up with a lot of traffic that just bounces right off your site because it's not what they were looking for.
Exactly. So relevance is key.
Got it. Relevance makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's the next crucial ingredient?
All right. The second essential is sufficient search volume.
Okay. What does that mean exactly?
Basically, it means that real people are actually typing those terms into search engines.
Makes sense. You could have the most perfectly crafted website in the world.
With the most brilliant content.
But if nobody's actually searching for the keywords you're targeting...
It's like shouting into the void.
Right. It's like setting up shop on a deserted island.
You need people actually looking for what you're offering.
So relevance and search volume, checked off the list. What's next?
Now, this is where things get a little strategic. It's about manageable competition.
Okay, so I get that we want keywords with good search volume, but what about those super popular keywords that everyone's going after?
Right. So those high volume keywords can be really tempting because they seem like they have the potential to bring in a ton of traffic.
Right. Huge potential audience.
But jumping head first into trying to rank for those super competitive keywords can be a recipe for disappointment, especially when you're just starting out.
Because you're going up against these massive websites that have been around forever.
Exactly. They've got huge budgets, tons of backlinks, and they've already established themselves as authorities in those areas.
So it's not impossible to rank for those super competitive keywords, but it's going to be a long, hard slog.
And it might be a better strategy to focus on keywords where you actually have a realistic chance of making some headway.
Keywords where you can gain some traction and start building up your authority.
Exactly. It's about picking your battles strategically.
So it's like finding that sweet spot keywords that have decent search volume but aren't so fiercely competitive that you're basically fighting a losing battle.
Right. You want to be visible to a good number of searchers, but also in a space where you can actually stand out.
Okay, so relevant search, volume, manageable competition. Got it. What's the final piece in the puzzle?
All right, this one is absolutely critical, aligning with user intent.
User intent. Okay, break that down for me.
It's all about understanding what the person searching is actually trying to achieve when they type in a specific query.
Are they looking for information?
Do they want to buy something?
Are they trying to solve a problem?
Exactly. You need to figure out what's driving their search.
Because you want to create content that truly aligns with what they're looking for.
Imagine ranking #1 for a keyword like best running shoes.
But your page is all about the history of shoemaking.
Not very helpful, right?
No, not at all. People are going to click away immediately.
And that doesn't help you or the searcher.
So you could be ranking high for a keyword, but if your content isn't delivering what the searcher expects, they're just going to bounce right off your page.
Exactly. So even if you're attracting traffic, if it's not the right kind of traffic, it's not going to translate into conversions or engagement.
It's like leading someone to a bakery when they were actually craving pizza.
So relevance, search volume, manageable competition, and aligning with user intent, those are the 4 cornerstones of good keyword research.
Okay. Those fundamentals make a lot of sense. Now, let's talk about some of the tools that can help us uncover those valuable keywords.
Yeah, Benny highlights some really useful resources.
And the good news is there are some fantastic free tools available.
Let's start with Google Keyword Planner. This is a great starting point because it's directly from Google itself.
And free is always a good thing.
Right, so you can access it through Google Ads, but you don't need to be running an active campaign to use it for keyword research.
Okay, so what can we actually do with Google Keyword Planner?
Well, you can input keywords related to your business, and it will generate a list of related keyword ideas.
Oh, that's cool. So I can type in a general term, and it will give me suggestions for other keywords I might want to target.
Exactly. And it also provides data on their average monthly search volume.
So I can see roughly how many searches those terms are getting.
Now, Benny does point out that for the most precise search volume data, you usually need to be running an active Google Ads campaign.
So if you're not running ads, the data might be a little less specific.
Right. It might show you broader ranges instead of exact numbers.
But even with that in mind, it's still a super valuable tool for getting initial keyword ideas and discovering terms you might not have thought of.
Especially since it's coming directly from Google itself.
Okay, so Google Keyword Planner is a great place to start. Now, what about Google Trends?
Google Trends is another fantastic free tool from Google, but it serves a very different purpose than Keyword Planner.
Okay, so if Keyword Planner is about finding potential keywords and seeing how many searches they're getting, what does Google Trends do?
Google Trends shows you the trendiness of search terms over time.
Oh, that's interesting. So I can see if a particular keyword is becoming more or less popular.
Exactly. It's incredibly useful for identifying emerging trends, keywords that are suddenly gaining traction.
So if I see a keyword that's been steadily increasing in popularity over the past few months, that might be a good sign that it's worth targeting.
Yeah, exactly. It could be an early indicator of a topic that's about to become really hot.
And it can also show you if certain keywords have seasonal spikes, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like think Halloween costumes in October or Christmas gifts in December.
Makes sense. Those keywords are going to see a huge surge in searches around those times of year.
Right. And then he also points out that Google Trends shows you the relative increase or decrease in a search term's popularity.
So it's not just about the absolute number of searches, but how that number is changing over time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which could be really helpful for anticipating future demand and planning your content accordingly.
I can also see how that would be useful for spotting trends that are starting to fade.
Right. If you see a keyword that's been steadily declining in popularity, you might want to reconsider investing a lot of effort in targeting it.
Unless you're specifically catering to a niche audience that's still interested in that topic.
Yeah, exactly. You have to consider your specific goals and target audience.
Now, can Google Trends also show you trends in different geographic locations?
Yes, it can. You can see how search interest for a particular term varies from region to region.
Oh, that's cool. So maybe a certain phrase is really popular in California, but not so much in New York.
Exactly, which can be super valuable information if your business targets specific locations.
Okay, so we've got Google Keyword Planner for finding potential keywords and seeing their general popularity.
And Google Trends for tracking how those keywords are performing over time and in different areas.
2 incredibly useful free tools.
Now, if you really want to take your keyword research to the next level and unlock a deeper level of analysis, you'll want to consider investing in some paid tools.
Okay, so let's talk about those. What are some of the top contenders in the paid tools arena?
2 of the most popular and highly regarded options are SEMrush and Ahrefs.
Okay, let's start with SEMrush. What makes it so special?
SEMrush is like a Swiss Army knife for SEO. It's a comprehensive suite of tools that can do a ton of different things.
Okay, so keyword research is just one of its many capabilities.
Right, but it's definitely one of its strongest areas.
So what can SEMrush do that the free Google tools can't?
One of the things that really sets SEMrush apart is its in-depth competitor analysis.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, you can enter your competitors' websites And SEMrush will show you exactly which keywords they're ranking for.
Wow, so I can see what's working for them and get some ideas for my own website.
Exactly. And you can see where their website traffic is coming from.
So I can see which channels are driving the most visitors to their sites.
Right. And you can even identify keywords that are bringing them traffic that you might not even be aware of.
It's like getting a sneak peek into their playbook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can see what strategies are working for them and identify potential gaps or opportunities that you might be missing.
That's incredibly valuable information.
And in addition to the competitor analysis, SEMrush also provides much more detailed insights into search volume and competition levels.
So I can get a much more accurate picture of how difficult it might be to rank for a particular keyword.
Exactly. SEMrush often gives you more specific data than the free tools.
Okay, so competitor analysis and more granular data on search volume and competition. What else makes SEMrush a good choice?
Benny also points out that SEMrush is great for finding long-tail keywords.
Now, we haven't talked about long-tail keywords yet. What are those?
Long-tail keywords are longer, more specific phrases that people use when searching.
Can you give me an example?
Sure, so if we go back to that running shoes example, a long-tail keyword might be something like best running shoes for flat feet and high arches.
Okay, so it's a much more specific query. Someone who's searching for that knows exactly what they're looking for.
Exactly, and because those long-tail keywords are more specific, they often have a lower overall search volume.
Okay, so fewer people are searching for them
But they also tend to face less competition.
because not as many websites are targeting those super specific phrases.
Right. And crucially, long-tail keywords often have a higher conversion rate.
Because the searcher's intent is very clearly defined.
They know exactly what they want, and if your website offers exactly that, you have a much higher chance of making a sale.
Okay, so long-tail keywords can be a really smart strategy, especially for smaller businesses or newer websites.
Exactly. It's about attracting highly qualified traffic people who are very likely to convert.
So SEMrush can help you uncover those valuable long-tail keywords.
Yes, it's a really powerful tool for that.
Okay, so SEMrush sounds like a pretty impressive tool. What about Ahrefs? How does it compare?
Ahrefs is another top-tier premium SEO tool, and it's very well respected in the industry.
Is it similar to SEMrush in terms of its features?
They have some overlap, but Ahrefs is particularly known for its backlink analysis.
Backlink analysis, what's that?
Backlinks are links from other websites to your website, and they're a really important factor in SEO.
Because Google sees those backlinks as a signal of your website's authority and credibility.
Exactly. So Ahrefs can show you which other websites are linking to your competitors.
Oh, that's interesting. So I can see where they're getting their backlinks from and maybe try to get some of those same sites to link to my website.
Yeah, exactly. And Ahrefs also has excellent keyword research capabilities.
Okay, so it's not just about backlinks.
No, it can also help you uncover hidden keyword opportunities.
Keywords that you might not have discovered using other tools.
Right. And it can also analyze the content that's performing well for those keywords.
So I can see what kind of content is ranking high and get some ideas for my own content strategy.
Exactly. And Ahrefs can also give you really good insights into keyword ranking difficulty.
So it can tell me how tough it might be to reach the top search results for a given keyword.
Right, which can help you prioritize your efforts and focus on keywords where you have a realistic chance of ranking.
So both SEMrush and Ahrefs offer a lot of powerful features for keyword research and competitor analysis.
They're both great options, but they do have slightly different strengths.
If you're really serious about SEO and you're ready to invest in a paid tool, I would definitely recommend checking out both SEMrush and Ahrefs.
Yeah, and most of them offer free trials, so you can test them out and see which one you prefer.
Okay, so we've got Google Keyword Planner and Google Trends for free, and then SEMrush and Ahrefs for those who want to go deeper.
Benny mentions one more tool that I think is really cool.
Okay, what's that?
It's called AnswerThePublic, and it's free.
Free's always good. Tell me more about this one.
AnswerThePublic is really unique. It visualizes search queries and questions that people are asking around a particular keyword.
Oh, that sounds interesting. So instead of just showing me a list of keywords, it actually shows me the questions people are asking.
Exactly. You enter a broad keyword, and it generates a mind map of related questions, prepositions, comparisons, and alphabetical lists of terms.
Wow, that sounds like a really visual and engaging way to understand user intent.
It is. It's fantastic for getting inside the head of your potential audience.
And it can spark a ton of ideas for content creation.
Right, because if you know the specific questions people are asking, you can create content that directly answers those needs.
It's like having a direct line to your audience's thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. And Benny points out that AnswerThePublic is great for generating content ideas that are highly relevant and targeted.
So instead of just guessing at what people might be searching for, you can see their actual questions laid out in front of you.
Right. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of content creation.
Okay, Answer the Public sounds like a really cool tool.
It is, and it's free, so there's no reason not to check it out.
So we've got a solid grasp of the fundamentals of keyword research, and we've explored a variety of tools, both free and paid.
Now let's talk about some practical tactics we can use to put all this knowledge into action.
Okay, so how do we actually go about doing keyword research in a way that's effective and efficient?
Well, Benny outlines a series of steps and tactics that can help you get the most out of your research.
Let's dive into those.
All right, the first step is to start with what Benny calls seed keywords.
Seed keywords. Okay, I'm intrigued. What are those?
Seed keywords are basically broad core terms that are directly related to your business, your industry, or the main topics you cover on your website.
So they're like your starting points.
Exactly. Think of them as the foundation of your keyword research.
Okay, so if I have a website about gardening, my seed keywords might be gardening plants, flowers, things like that.
Right, those are good examples. Once you have your seed keywords, you can use the tools we've discussed, like Google Keyword Planner, SEMrush, or Ahrefs, to generate more specific keyword ideas.
So the seed keywords are like the trunk of the tree, and then the tools help you branch out and explore all the different twigs and leaves.
That's a great analogy. You want to start broad and then gradually narrow down your focus.
Okay, so start with seed keywords, and then use the tools to expand your list. What's the next step?
The next crucial step is to analyze your competitors' keywords.
Okay, we touched on this briefly when we were talking about SEMrush and Ahrefs, but why is this so important?
Well, by seeing which keywords your competitors are ranking for, you can get a really good understanding of what's working in your niche.
So you can see which keywords are driving traffic to their sites and identify potential opportunities for your own website.
Exactly. It's not about copying them blindly, but about understanding the competitive landscape and seeing where you can either compete head-on or find underserved areas.
It's like doing some reconnaissance before you launch an attack.
Right. You want to know where your enemies are strong and where they're vulnerable.
So competitor analysis is essential.
Got it.
Got it. What else should we be doing?
This is where the concept of long-tail keywords really comes into play.
Okay, we talked about long-tail keywords earlier, but remind me why they're so important.
Well, as we discussed, long-tail keywords are longer, more specific phrases that people use when searching.
And because they're more specific, they often have less competition and a higher conversion rate.
Exactly. So for smaller businesses or newer websites, focusing on long-tail keywords can be a really effective strategy.
It's about attracting highly qualified traffic people who are very likely to be interested in what you're offering.
Right. Instead of trying to rank for those super broad competitive keywords, you're focusing on more niche terms that have a higher chance of converting into sales or leads.
So it's like fishing in a smaller pond where you have a better chance of catching the right kind of fish.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not wasting your time and resources trying to compete with the big players in the vast ocean.
So competitor analysis and long-tail keywords checked off the list. What's next?
Benny also emphasizes the tactic of grouping keywords by topic.
Okay, what does that mean?
Basically, it means organizing your keywords into logical clusters based on related themes.
So instead of having individual pages that target slightly different keywords, you create a central page on a broader topic and then create more detailed pages that link back to that main page.
Exactly. It's about creating a more structured and hierarchical website architecture.
So if I have a website about dogs, I might have a main page about dog breeds and then separate pages about golden retrievers, Labradors, poodles, and so on.
Right. And each of those breed-specific pages would link back to the main dog breeds page.
Okay, so it's like creating a web of related content.
Exactly. And this not only helps users navigate your site more easily, but it also signals to search engines that you have in-depth expertise on a particular subject.
So it's a win-win for both users and search engines.
Right. And it can help you rank higher for your target keywords.
Okay, grouping keywords by topic makes sense. What's the final tactic Benny mentions?
That's the effective use of keyword modifiers.
Keyword modifier. Okay, tell me more about those.
Keyword modifiers are words that you can add to your seed keywords to make them more specific and uncover different angles of user intent.
Can you give me some examples?
Sure. Common keyword modifiers include words like best, cheap review, how-to guide, and even things like locations or years.
Okay, so if my seed keyword is laptops, I could use modifiers to find keywords like best laptops for students, cheap gaming laptops, or laptop reviews 2023.
Exactly. Those modifiers help you tap into different stages of the buyer's journey and understand the specific needs, questions, and desires that people have.
So if someone searches for best laptops for students, They're probably in the research phase. They're not ready to buy yet, but they're gathering information.
Right. Whereas someone who searches for buy cheap gaming laptops is probably much closer to making a purchase.
So using keyword modifiers can help you create content that's tailored to those different stages of the buyer's journey.
Exactly. It's about meeting people where they are and providing them with the information they need at each step of the process.
Okay, keyword modifiers, got it. That's a really helpful tactic. Now, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the fundamentals of keyword research.
We've explored a variety of tools, both free and paid.
And we've discussed some practical tactics for conducting effective keyword research.
But there's one more really important thing to keep in mind.
What's that?
Keyword research is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process.
Okay, so we can't just do our keyword research once and then forget about it.
No, the online landscape is constantly changing. New trends emerge, search volumes fluctuate, and your competitors are always refining their strategies.
So we need to stay on top of things.
Exactly. You need to track your keyword rankings, monitor your website traffic, and be prepared to adjust your approach as needed.
So it's about continuous improvement.
Right. You're never really done with keyword research. It's something you need to be doing on an ongoing basis to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, that makes sense. So to wrap things up, we've learned that effective keyword research is all about understanding the core principles.
Relevance, search volume, manageable competition, and aligning with user intent.
We've seen that there are some fantastic tools available,
Both free and paid.
and we've discussed some practical tactics, like starting with seed keywords, analyzing competitors, using long-tail keywords, grouping keywords by topic, and using keyword modifiers.
We've also emphasized that keyword research is an ongoing process, not a one-time event.
So as you move forward with your own keyword research, think about what we've talked about today.
Start with those fundamentals,
Experiment with different tools.
and don't be afraid to adapt your strategy as you learn and grow.
And for you, the listener, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder. What are some initial seed keywords you could start exploring for your own website or area of interest?
And what are some of the questions that your potential audience might be asking online?
Think about those questions deeply because they hold the key to creating content that truly resonates with your audience.
Keep diving deep. Keep learning and keep refining your approach.
And most importantly, never stop experimenting because that's how you'll discover what truly works for you.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.